So, hello, everybody. I hope you are doing fabulous wherever you are in the world because we have people from all over the world watching. I will tell you guys that I am in Houston and it is 108 degrees here, okay? That's very hot. And I know where Donovan is, they're going through some sort of a storm. And it sounds like they also had an earthquake. So there's a lot going on. But anyway, may you be blessed wherever you are. I also like to say a big giant thank you and welcome to Donovan and to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants as well because we share the link so you can come on and, express yourself, ask a question, whatever it is. All I ask is that if I don't know you and you haven't been up here before, please show me your face before I bring you to the big screen. That way I can make sure it's not any nonsense that's going on. So, as you guys see, the topic says speak now or forever hold your peace, which basically means it's an open discussion. I have nothing. I have nothing. Nothing. I don't have anything to talk about. Nothing at all. I mean, I do, but I just nothing. I felt passionate about nothing today. It's sometimes that happens. I think I've done this type of show maybe once or twice. I didn't have anything. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll leave it up to Donovan and you all to come up and ask a question, talk about something that's trending or whatever. I won't say whatever because God knows, but y'all know what I mean. So if y'all want to talk about something, come up briefly. Let's speak your mind or whatever, and we can go from there. I'm just a little tired. I've been doing a whole lot lately. Anyway, who's on here? Black America, how you doing? Easy E, what's going on with you? Jimmy James, you are in Germany. Passport Bros and Argo. Okay, well, man, we can talk about that too. Nikki Red, how you doing? Anita, what's going on with you? And Michael from Australia, how are you? And Brother Don, our moderator, how are you doing today, love? And Milo Factor, what's going on with you? Yes, indeed, Black first to the chat. And DJ Charisma, how are you? Hola to you as well. Donovan, what's on your mind, brother?
My money's on my mind, and my mind is on my money constantly as I'm losing it under this Democratic administration, but that's okay. Hey, real quick, let's do some house cleaning here real quick. You guys, we have a scrolling thing over there. If you wanted to contribute to the show, PayPal, Venmo, all this other great stuff, please do that because as Demetra says, she does make a lot of videos and it does help motivate her in getting the videos out. And you can also check out Demetra on the African Diaspora News channel. Also, you guys noticed that she left it up to me to come up with a topic. How many of you guys remember the movie Boomerang and the great actor and choreographer Jeffrey Holder? He played a character in there where he was like, for Strange, he was like, anything Strange did, he was like, oh my God, I love it. Oh, he's just really into it, right? And so Marcus left it up to him to do a video. He said, I don't care, you just do what you want. And he came up with one of the greatest videos of all time that shocked everybody. So that's how Demetra feels when she lets me do a topic. She feels like in that episode of that. So nothing shocking in this one, nothing that we can't get over. But again, Demetra, it is raining here. The storm is going off the coast and on the coast of Baja California. I didn't feel the earthquake as of yet, but I'm sure the devil is on the rampage because never before in the history of the United States, much less the world, do you have rampant tropical storms on the West Coast, massive heat throughout the United States and down into the, I think there's a storm in the Caribbean forming right now as we speak. So you got that going on too. So for those of us that that don't believe in climate change, I mean, stuff like this has never happened before, and we're going to get into it. So Demetra, go ahead.
Yeah. So easy. Okay, we're going to try to do this really quick. And you know what? Let me just go on and put the link up here. Just get this over with early. I'll just put it in here. Please, if you come up here, ask a question, and then I'm going to click you off so everybody else can come on unless it gets really interesting. But I'm going to put the link in the comment section for those of you guys that are on Twitter and on Facebook. It's on YouTube, in case you're wondering. All right. But anyway, let me address this. So Michael Orr, we talked about this on, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, one of those days we talked about it, where Michael Orr is a football player. He was in the movie Blind Side with Sandra, or not he, but it was about him, with Sandra Bullock, where he was adopted allegedly by a white family. Sounds like they ended up having a conservatorship, which they kind of have ownership over him. He learned that it was not an adoption, it was a conservatorship. And it sounds like it's cost him a lot of money. And he says that the white family came up off of him. And so he's suing them, I guess. So I guess it just really remains to be seen as to what's going to go on with that. Mike Nice, how you doing? Bobby Williams, what's going on with you? Black America, he wants to know if Donovan is a passport bro. No, he said he's not. But I think he is. But anyway.
Well, no, the reason I say I'm not is because I lived overseas as a kid all my life, whatever the deal is, and I've traveled all my life. So, that's why I think passport bros looking at it, to me, it affects those people that like all of a sudden started traveling overseas and figured this stuff out. I mean, I went to the Philippines when I was 8 years old. So I kind of already knew what was happening. Matter of fact, when I joined the military, because I was still closely associated with the old bases and stuff like that, I knew where to go, what people to meet. Even some of the ladies that worked in the bars, I was friends with their children. We grew up together. Some of them are still over there in the family business. And, it is what it is. So I wouldn't really associate myself as a passport bro, but I'm a big supporter of those brothers going out there and exercising options.
Mm-hmm. Jan Michael, how you doing? Says greetings back in Los Angeles, but due to weather, I'm headed back to Vegas. Well, Vegas ain't doing that much better. Vegas, I heard, was really getting it.
Well, I would be afraid to go back to Vegas. I'm out in the desert as well, but Vegas and Arizona, flash flooding is the big thing you got to worry about. And you don't know where the flash flooding is going to come from. So be careful. Be careful as you're driving.
Black America says no, meaning will you marry a black woman or a woman from another country?
I will marry a black woman from another country. Yes, I would. Yes. Woman. Yes, I would.
No, he's saying either one. So do you want to marry a black woman from here, or do you prefer a black woman from somewhere else?
I would prefer a woman from here, but the chances of that happening is almost zero.
Come on, man.
I mean, I try to try. They don't want to get on my program. If you don't want to get on my program, then I got to, exercise other options.
If I'm gonna let Black America come up here, but since what's your program, brother? Maybe we can get the sisters right. What's your program? Give me the top 3 things on your program.
Dimitri, you know my program. The biggest problem that I have with women, it's kind of like, have you heard about the Clarissa Shields thing? The boxer, Clarissa Shields? She's challenging another professional male boxer that lost to Manny Pacquiao, was a multiple time, world title holder. And she's challenging him as if she could beat this man in whatever regards, right? So my thing with that is this. Now, when it comes to my program, Dimitri, and you know how I am about my program. My thing is this. I have a problem with women that want to be men or play the man role. And I've always said that. You could do what you want to do as a woman. I have no problem with that. You want to do this, do that, do that. But when you try to sit into my seat and take my job, I have a problem. And that's my program. And it's just not going to jive. And unfortunately, a lot of women in the United States think because they do a similar job as a man, or they do a similar sport, that they're equal to a man. It's not the same. And it's been proven over and over again. You got the women's soccer team, national soccer team, got beat by a bunch of 15-year-olds. Now you got a woman challenging a man. And this is what I say. She wants to act like a man, treat her like a man. But see, that will look bad on him, because when he busts her damn teeth out, he's a woman beater. So my program is, I want a woman that is feminine and knows her role as a wife. Period. It's a very simple program.
How you doing, Brother Joe Nell? And I'm reading y'all comments. All right, Black America, how you doing today?
I am actually stuck coming up the 15, headed to Vegas from Cali. Don't try it, guys. Don't if you're thinking about it, don't even try it.
Yeah,
I'm
I was on
stuck.
the 15 yesterday, and it was it was pretty bad yesterday.
Yeah, I'm stuck right here coming out of trying to get into Barstow. They're actually making us get off of the freeway. So if you are, this is your weatherman. Don't do it.
Let me.
You
So
you
did you not know that fat meat was greasy, Black America? What are you doing out there?
This is my job. This is what I do. I ride these roads. I drive trucks every day, all day. So that's this my bread and butter. And Donovan, I'm gonna tell you something. The only fight that Keith Thurman lost was to Manny Pacquiao. Not not you know what I mean. So we definitely hope that they don't fight, or I hope they do fight, but
I
I
mean,
hope he fights her for real.
yeah,
He
she only
said
had
she could
14
have
fights. She only had 14 fights, and she barely knocks out women. She doesn't even knock
right,
out women.
right, and he's knocked out 22 men. So I mean, it'll be devastating, and I don't know. It's a lot of women think that they are tough. I had a woman who thought she was tough at the club last night. It's women think that they are tough right now. But that was my question.
And let me ask y'all this, and y'all's experience, y'all not so humble opinion. Why do y'all think women think that they're tough? The women that you guys are coming across, and define tough?
You want to go first, Jonathan? Okay. Tough. It is because you guys have been coddled and protected, and somebody just can't really get and dig in your ass anytime you step out of line.
Okay, let me stop you right there because you didn't answer the question, my brother. Define tough.
Tough. You can beat a man. You can be in control. You're in charge. You're the big rooster. You're the cock on the block. Tough. Stuff that tough. Bullying people. I can get in a fight in the airport because somebody don't want to do what I tell them to do. Tough. You don't agree with that definition?
I mean, that's your definition. I'm just asking you to define what tough means because it can mean anything. But can I ask you this? When is the last time either one of y'all personally had a woman try to beat you up?
Let me answer that. I was in a club back in 1991 at Del Mar on Camp Pendleton. Walked into the club, saw this WM. We call them Wookiee monsters because most WMs don't look that great. They look like dudes. When the Marine Corps says they're looking for a few good men, they mean it. But I walk in. I was fairly attractive back in those days. The girl comes up and asks me if I would like to dance. Now, number one, I'm not no bitch, so you're out of your role right there even asking me that. Number two, she was a big Wookiee monster, and I said no, and I walked away. Turned back around, and the chick sucker punched me, and I was about to get in her ass, and my brother said, "Wait a minute, this is a Marine. You jump on her, all the Marines are going to jump on you." So I had to leave the club because I was going to get in that girl's ass.
Brother, did you take us all the way back to 1991?
I did because
For
nobody's
me,
tried me since then.
for me, it was 2016. I did have a woman attack me viciously. Actually, I had some diamond earrings in. She actually grabbed my earlobe and pulled out one of my earrings. Yeah, so yeah, tough.
Jessica Jackson, how you doing? And Uncle G, I saw what you said in regards to Jalen McKenzie. I looked it up. I'm going to look more into it. I'm not familiar with that case, but I will definitely look into it. Sounds like another black man life was taken by the Memphis police. So I want to look into that. Jessica, how you doing? It says, I think also because a lot of women are larger in size now. So personally, I have seen that women be super ready to fight now. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell y'all what y'all have and have not seen. I don't know if larger in size has anything to do with it, because I've seen videos and stuff of little smaller women, trying to walk tall and talk tough and things like that. But continue. Go ahead.
So what is tough to you? You just said walk tall and talk tough. What is tough to you?
I think tough, in my opinion, especially in regards to a man, is a woman um, acting masculine. It's masculine, I think, for a woman to try to fight a man. Now, defending herself is one thing, but fighting a man, ensuing an argument or a fight, or trying to jump up his face and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's very masculine. So to me, that's tough. Doing something you're out of character for, and that's not befitting for you. Especially as a woman, and definitely trying to usurp that of her man, not a man, because we have this conversation all the time. Usurping her man. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy. Blah 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 blah. That to me, that's tough, right? So basically, a woman that's acting a little too masculine. I would define that as tough. Mhm.
So was Kiki Palmer acting tough recently with all of her getting naked up there with Usher, making a music video now with Usher is coming out. Is Kiki Palmer acting tough?
I wouldn't say she's acting tough. I think she's acting a little on the silly side. Because I'm not sure exactly what happened between her and the father of her child. Darius is his name. I'm not sure what all happened there, but I think she's misguided if her relationship is indeed ruined over what happened with her and Usher in Vegas. I think it's silly, because we don't need any more single baby mamas out there. Should not be glorified. And if that's the case, yes, she allowed a lot of people to talk her into being a single mama. I don't care how much money you have. You always want the father of your child involved in his life. And so I wouldn't say she was acting tough. I would say she was acting silly. And Brandon, how you doing? He says Thurman went head to head with so y'all talking about some more boxing stuff. I'm gonna let y'all have that. Hey Tanya, how you doing? And JBWR, how you doing? He says years ago, my first ex-wife's sister stabbed me in the back during an argument, so I had to give her the judo chop. Yeah, that's a whole different story. You have to defend yourself, right? And Brother Jonas says masculinity is being groomed in our women above femininity. We are dealing with an agenda that has been in play since slavery. It's still buck breaking and slave making. This world's greatest fear is Black masculinity. So it programs role reversal and male masculinity, the birth of female studs. Yeah, and I should have just read your comment. To me, that's what it means to be tough. A woman that's acting masculine. And you're right, Brother Jonelle, that is being taught to our young girls via the music and, their mamas and all kind of stuff, that it's all right to be masculine, and going toe to toe with men. We know that men are more than likely stronger. They just are, right? Unless you got some size on them or something like that.
It's not more than likely. It's a fact.
Well, I'm saying come on now. There's not absolutes. There's some women that can whoop a man. Let's just keep it real, But
if the man is 90 pounds and got no,
that's what I was saying before
mass on him. But we're talking
in
general.
I don't believe that.
Wait.
I don't believe that.
That's what I was saying before you cut me off. I said
no. But when you say that, you put it out there that in general a woman possibly has a chance, and that's in most cases. That's not.
Did I say in most cases? I didn't say in most cases.
No. What I'm saying is when the way you put it. No. Listen. What I was saying was the way you put it makes it seem like 3 out of 10 times a woman could probably beat a man. That's not true. That is not,
brother. No. What we ain't gonna never do with me is say we seen, because I'm one of those people. I'm gonna say what it is. I ain't gonna never have you reading between the lines. I did not say that. I said that we know that a woman cannot whoop a man, and then I went back to say there are some cases that she can, and I was gonna say she has some size on or something like that, and you jumped in.
But
wait.
Go ahead.
And then you jumped in and said something I did not say. I'm not.
No, I said the way I said it. The way I interpret it, when you say it like that, it's interpreted like, oh yeah, sometimes they have a chance. No, almost never chance. Okay, I'll give you a better example. I'm 162 pounds, thin as I don't know what. You put me up against a 6'1", 230-pound woman, I will whip her ass, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Okay, but see, now you're doing the most of the most. I said in some cases a woman could, but I said more than likely. We know that a man is physically stronger than a woman. So for a woman to try to jump up into a man's face and think she's gonna whoop him is misguided. That's where I was going with that.
Right, but a lot of women will take that little sliver that you said that's all they hear and think, oh yeah, I could go hand in hand with the man. Again, a good example, Clarissa Shields. She figures because she's the same size as the other boxer, oh, I could beat him hands down, blah, 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 blah. It's the delusion that gets in their mind. Like, yeah, we could do, I'm the greatest boxer of all times. Nobody's saying that. Now, we all know when it comes to combat sports, to me, absolutely not should a man and a woman engage in combat sports, because it is a significant difference that woman will get hurt. It's bad enough men get hurt fighting men.
Yeah, but you arguing a point I didn't make. So, I like I said, there are some women that can whoop a man, but that's not the norm. That's what I'm saying. So
I've never seen it.
Anyway, self-care.
I never seen it either.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. Okay. I've seen men getting their butts whooped by women or girls whooping boys' butts. I've seen it. Okay. So I don't know what rock y'all living up under. And let's see here. Self-care cafe says, for me, being a tough woman is having the ability to refrain from physically striking and name calling when upset. I can dig it. Hey, D. Griffin, how you doing? And 22 Ronan, how you doing? And Tracy says, I am, oops, where'd it go? You says, I am 4'11". I'm not fighting no man. Now, verbally, I can cut you verbally if you earned it. Jessica says, most women cannot beat a man. I didn't say that most women could. I never said that. In fact, I said that more than likely she's not going to do that. So let's keep it a buck. Let's not lie to kick it. And Damon, you say you like that 4'11" there. And Nikki, he says, I would never try a man. Yeah, I mean, what would be the point, And then when he mopped the floor with you, then you gonna run around talking about, oh, he hit me. And Tony Taylor, how you doing? JBWR says Donovan is skin and bones. And Double A says Brittany Griner might be a challenge. She might be. Brother Jonelle says she put this up here. Says she, Hulk is a mentality. No real woman wants to be dominant over a man. But if the male is weak, she will dominate due to such weakness until she finds that alpha male, which the weak male lacks being. A real man has no struggles with lesbians, masculine women, because those women bow before a supreme being, which is dominant male, aka son of man, aka God in person. Absolutely. And Jan Michael says, no, Mr. Donovan is correct. Over 200 pounds from jump. She's off balance right there. But again, y'all put some seasoning on something that I wasn't even trying to eat. I never said that a 200-pound woman could whoop a man. I said there are some cases to where a woman has overtaken a man. It's just a fact. Why are we arguing facts? No. Don't cut me off.
I'm not cutting you off.
Because what we're not going to do is lie and say something that I did not say. I didn't give the illusion that no woman, that all women or some women, and I did say some women, but all women could run around and whooping a man. I did not say that. So you have built a straw man argument as something I never said.
No, but it's interpreted. What you said is interpreted different than what you said. But here's my thing. Give us examples of women that have beaten men. Just give us some examples in combat sports, any kind of sport. Give us the examples that you know of.
I've personally seen it on the schoolyard from elementary all the way to high school. Now, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything recently, but I'm sure people can think of at least one example where a woman is with the man. And, to me, it's just silly season at this point for y'all dudes to be sitting up here talking about no woman has ever beat no man. Like, knock it off. Wait. I get it. Y'all got a lot of testosterone and all of that, and y'all the macho men, but don't lie to kick it. Don't do it.
This is what I want to say. You inferring that even one woman in this whole entire world could beat a man. It makes it seem like a woman can beat a man. You're talking about school kids and this, that, and the other. When after a boy hits puberty, me and Donovan can both attest to it. The whoopings from your mother don't even hurt you. It's more of a respect thing that you don't grab the belt and push her down to the ground because you respect her as your mother. The whoopings no longer hurt. Nothing hurts you. There is
you arguing over here. You arguing whether the whoopings hurt or not. It's not an argument whether the whoopings hurt. It's can a woman, and y'all made this, I want to let y'all know, y'all threw this red herring up in there, by the way, of whether a woman could whip a man or not. But I want to go to my dear brother Jonell. He says, I've seen women whipping a man before. You can see those videos on YouTube, but regardless of that, is not the divine norm. Most are not true to their nature as progress. So it's like, stop lying. Stop.
No, I'm saying if a man was to fight back, then no. I mean, because we are, as men or boys, are taught not to beat on women. You see what I mean? So it is more of a respect thing. If you see a little bitty thing beating up her big boyfriend, it's not that she's whooping him. It's just he's not fighting back. He's not going to do anything because one hit from him could actually break something on her body. So it's not fair.
Right. But I just want y'all to know that people have said that they never interpreted me saying that, all women can whoop a man. I said in some cases she can. It's just a fact. Y'all strong, but some of y'all can have your butts whooped by a woman. You can.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but okay. But let me get to my topic real quick before we go totally left here. All right, as you guys know, there was big fires in Maui, and the Asian API community is upset with the Biden administration. And why are they upset? Number one, the federal aid and things have been slow to come and help them do what they need to do. Of course, there's been a lot of missteps and a lot of problems in regards to the response of things. They're still they're still digging people out. They're still finding bodies and stuff. The emergency management person, and you guys better check who the emergency management person is in your city, and you will find in most cases that person is woefully not supposed to be in that position. Okay, but anyway, that's just a heads up. So let me just read this out here real quick for you guys, real quick. Locals lash out against Biden's visit to Maui after deadly wildfires. I don't want him here. Hawaiian residents are saying they don't want Joe Biden to visit them on Monday as the president continues to face backlash this week for appearing aloof following the state's largest natural disaster. With pressure mounting for him to visit and discuss the federal government's response to the Maui wildfires, Biden announced Wednesday that he would visit the devastated island come Monday, much to the dissatisfaction of some island residents. I don't want him here, Jay Awan of Lahaina told the Post Wednesday. He's just coming to Maui to look good in front of the cameras. Anwa, a 45, a cook and tiki carver, said nothing would be gained from the 80-year-old president's visit as his town, a once popular resort area, has been burned to the ground. All right. So here's the deal.
Did you go on mute?
I was in Hawaii when all of this stuff was following and going down and stuff. And when I was there, I happened to notice that a lot of my Hawaiian, Asian Pacific Islander people were saying, oh my God, what a tragedy. We all got to come together and do all of this other stuff, right? And I was like, what do you mean we? Do you got a mouse in your pocket? Because when black people were trying to get qualified immunity, you guys were silent. You guys got your bill. Did you guys say, hey, we need to add the black people to our bill? No, you didn't say anything. But see, when tragedy strikes, all of these other groups look to black people to reinforce what they want and get done. Now, the response from the CBC, the response from Kamala Harris has yet to be determined. But usually these people, they are silent when a black man or woman is murdered or something goes down, but yet let something happen to them, and all of a sudden we all got to come together. I personally believe, and Demetri, I'm going to ask you this question. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think that maybe karma has a way of coming back and looking at certain people in certain groups and saying, you know what, you didn't help your brother and sister over here, so we're going to go ahead and do this over here to you and see how you like it or how you feel? How do you feel about that?
I just feel like this. Of course, a lot of this is karma. Y'all know I do a lot of reading, and it's been prophesied. Of course, y'all that follow the Bible. Of course, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has written about it in The Fall of America, that all that we are seeing is going to come to pass. I mean, look at the weather there in Southern California. A hurricane has not hit there since 1939, right? And you guys are supposed to get, a lot of damage and water and things like that. But I'm not sure what's going on in Hawaii. I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories in regards to how the fire actually took place and all of that. But as far as karma, in regards to white supremacy, they got it coming to them. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and Farrakhan talks about it a lot, watch the weather. So we're seeing a lot of funky things go on in the United States of America in regards to the weather. It's 108 degrees here in Texas. Everybody's grass is brown. I saw a video of somebody's grass catch on fire because it was so dry and from the heat. So what I'm saying is it karma? I don't know if it's karma. I think it's divinely inspired, if you will, due to the original sin of slavery never being atoned for by white supremacy. So we're going to see a lot more worse things that go on. But in regards to black people coming to the rescue of, what can we do? Black people, we're the most disenfranchised people here in the United States of America. We don't have any power to get behind anybody to get anything. We can't make Joe Biden do anything. I mean, hell, we're the Democrats' most loyal voter, and we've got nothing to show for it. So what could we really do? Right.
But in regard to the Asians asking us to come to their aid and do all these things, do you think that we have an obligation to do that because they didn't add us to their protection bill? They're silent whenever we are in our situation. And recently, the towel guy that was the police officer during George Floyd, he recently got convicted. But whenever and I have a lot of Asian friends, as you know, and I tell them all the time, you guys are silent over there. Every time something happens to a black person, you guys have nothing to say, especially when I haven't seen them in a while and we're just talking shop. They never bring up the black guy that just got choked out or killed. They're silent about it. So in your aspect, do you think that the Asians are justified in asking black people to come to their aid and rescue?
Of course, they're not justified. They're not justified in asking us to do anything. No one should be asking us to do anything but us, right? We need to do for self. And we need to do for self before we do for anybody else. So they're not justified. And I don't know if I can even say the Asian community largely help black people. We know that they don't. And I'm going to actually let Michael speak to that in just a minute because he is Asian, whether they come to the aid of black people or not. And I would say no. So, I ain't going to say, we should go to their aid. I mean, we can't even come to our own aid. How the hell are we going to go to their aid?
Well, you're always playing the devil's advocate. I'm just asking.
I do like to play the devil's advocate. And hello, Elton. And who else was on here? Facts Not Feelings. And Will, how are you doing? And everybody else that I did not see. Hello. All right. So, Michael, what do you have on the topic?
Yes. Hi, Demetri, Donovan. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Yes. Donovan, if you can ask that question one more time. What's that question you asked? You
Yeah,
asked.
the question is this: with the Hawaiianers and Asian Pacific Islanders that live in Hawaii, and even some that are here in California, they are asking Black people to come together with them to get faster action in response to the tragedy that happened over there. Is it a Black person?
Hold on a second. Not that. Let me. Sonji, how you doing? I hope I said that right. Says hi, Dimitri. I think you come off as too aggressive. Try to tone it down some if you want a strong man. No harm intended. Well, let me tell you something. I'm the host of a show, so I don't know whether what that means to tone it down. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm very passionate, but aggressive. No, baby, I'm not aggressive at all. I'm probably one of the most feminine women that you will ever meet. But on here, what I'm not gonna do is let no man, woman, cat, dog lie on me about anything. So if you think that me defending myself against people lying on me and making up stuff on me is aggressive, then I don't know what to tell you. But as I've always said, Donovan, Black America, no other man on here ain't my man yet. Okay. And so yeah, with my man that I do not have at the time, I'm gonna be as submissive and all of that as possible. But on this show, I need to be able to defend myself. So there might be some shows where women get ran over and people run roughshod all over them because they're afraid to offend people. Oh gosh, if I raise my voice, people are gonna think I'm masculine. I feel sorry for them. But me speaking my mind does not mean that I'm aggressive. I'm just not gonna let people lie to kick it on me. But continue, gentlemen.
Yes.
And the other thing is this, right. Y'all call me aggressive. What other show do y'all know? Because it's mostly men that come up here and say all kind of stuff, whether I like it or not. And most of the time I sit here and I let y'all talk. Do I not? All right, continue.
That's right. So what the problem is? No, anyway. Anyway. But the question basically, the Asian Hawaiian community has been asking Black people to come to their defense or assistance in regards to the devastating fires and the devastation in Hawaii.
So let me get this straight. So this is what I understand. So every time when Asians are always struggling, no matter it's politically, economically, socially, they always ask Black people to help them out, even though Asians are less likely to help Black people in return or do quid pro quo. And so it's like, the way I see it's like, and I don't want to sound like I'm being a hypocrite. Like, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm just going to be, this is what I understand from the Asian community. So when the Asians go to Black people, ask Black people for help, they see Black people as gospel saviors, right? Because they know Black people they know that in your community, you guys are very religious. You guys always give. And Asians see that as a opportunity. But what a lot of Asian people don't understand is that no other groups outside the Black community will come to Asian people's, rescue. And I've seen this like so many times, that the way how Asians not only treat Black people, but they also, the way they treat their own people in their own communities, especially if their members are like homosexual, people with disabilities, or people who are poor, they treat them horrible, if not worse than Black people. And it is also history demonstrate that what historical evidence shows that in the last 40, 50 years, a lot of Asians really don't care about helping Black people in return. And so I understand if I understand this correctly, Donovan, please jump in. If I understand your frustration that every time you ask yourself this question, is it justifiable to help the AAPI community, especially in like especially the Maui crisis, right? And I know that you get tired, frustrated of helping people who don't help you in return, or almost kind of like being like taken advantage of. And it's kind of like a plantation, right? Because the master at the top is telling you guys, if you don't help these people back, you could lose your job, you could be fired, or you're not going to have work. And the only way to survive is, okay, I have to follow what the master says if I want to keep my position. And so in this case, Donovan, you do make a good point. No, you should not be obligated to help Asians in return. You should not, because a lot of Asian people have not learned by coming to America for so many years, especially during the gold rush when the Chinese people were enslaved. They didn't really, they did not really like show solidarity with black people. Uh, even to this day, after the gold rush, and it still continues. Now, would I say individually? I'll say individually speaking, yes, there are some Asians who do want to help black people, right? Or some black people want to help Asians on an individual level, if definitely not a collective level. So I definitely can understand that what Philip Scott said. And Philip Scott said, I don't discriminate. I treat people equally. Now, if people treat me right, I treat them right. If they don't treat me right, I don't treat them right. So it's really based on a situation, context, condition. So people should be vetted on their intent and what they want to do to help others out. And I would say in this situation, if Asian people really show that they care about Black Lives Matter, and yes, Black Lives Matter do matter because substance have to be included, right? You said like remove or qualified immunity, cash payment reparations for cash payment reparations for American descendants of slavery, anti-black hate crime legislation. And so I say this because a lot of Asian people, when they show like solidarity, to them it's really about symbols to make themselves. I don't say make themselves look good, but they know that they know that what they did, or they kind of like showing like guilty because they know that what's coming, what goes around comes around. And yes, karma has a way of telling Asian people that they got to rethink what they did. And I say this to, and I'm pretty sure that, like, let's say hypothetically, I help you guys get reparations, right? Hypothetically speaking, you and Donovan and Demetrius say, "Thank you, Michael Penn, so much for for helping us to fight for cash payment reparation. Please leave." And I'll say, "You're welcome," because you guys deserve to build your own communities. You guys deserve not to include people who don't look like you. So I say, yes, I understand, because you guys try to be inclusive for so many years, and what has shown us that a lot of people who ask you for help, they never show anything. They never show like kindness or being like down to earth in return. And even the LA riots has demonstrated that the tensions between the Asians and blacks have not improved greatly. Nothing has changed at all after the 1992 LA riots, because the problem is that in America, we're preconditioned that we're a melting pot, country, especially we tell the world, right? But you're right, on paper, we're not really a melting pot, because if the pot melts, how come everybody's like, segregated, right? So it's really on paper. I'm sorry, it's really, on paper, but not in reality. And so, and I even take a unapologetic view. I mean, in my community, I even had to like educate some Asians to oppose, reparations, because a lot of them are like stuck in their bubble. They really don't talk about, social, economic, political, and racial issues in their own groups, and even like in interracial marriage between Asians and blacks, right? And I always say this to especially to the Asian people who are married to black people. I always tell them this: there's going to become a point in time that race conversation is going to have to be it's going to have to be discussed. If you like it or not, it's going to have to be. Maybe not internally, but externally, because it's so real, right? And that you have to be cognizant. I especially tell this to the Asians. I know they don't hear it, and I always say this because it's good to be aware, and also that way they know they can be ready before they get ready.
Absolutely. So let's see here. Be easy, that dude. What is going on with you today? Long time no see.
Hey, what's up with y'all?
Chilling, chilling.
Yeah, not too much. Beautiful California day. Just want to tap in with y'all. I still be lurking in the chat and watching the video. So even if I don't get to see the live stream, I do support. I actually want to do a reaction, and I was gonna commend you. Shout out to the brother that just spoke, Michael, on that video that you showed about the guy who happened to be Asian and was crying and saying, no one is supporting us, no one was helping us. And I was just thinking, man, like, do I need to pull up the receipts and show the countless business loans and opportunities that were given based on minority status, saying that here you can't set up shop here in the white neighborhood, but where the blacks is, go ahead. And they say you'll get minimal pushback. A lot of this stuff is documented, but I think we all on the panel know. But shout out to Michael, because that does take a lot of courage. Being in the Bay Area, outside of China, the most Chinese people live in San Francisco. So I'm engaging, out here, it's like Russians, Ukrainians, Pakistani, everything out here. So I've had these similar talks, and some people will agree and have the same sentiments as Michael, but they just won't say it out loud. They won't ever say it publicly. They'll whisper it. So that's why, the separation and, everyone having to do for self. It's unfortunate, but like Dr. Claude Anderson said, your race is your team. Right? It's like I didn't make it like that. That's how it was socially constructed. Everyone adheres to that. So that being said, we gotta make sure that the black team is good. Everyone understands sports, right? So is the Warriors gonna be worried about helping the Lakers out before they help the Warriors out? And you wouldn't even blame them. The Warriors are not gonna give the Lakers plays to defeat them, and you wouldn't expect them to. But then everyone is expecting us, as like the proverbial Laker team or whatever team, to give up our plays. Here, you want access to our coach. Here, you want access to our gym. And we've unfortunately been doing it. But then when we say, hey, could we come to y'all gym? Nope. Could we talk to y'all coach? No. Could y'all give us some of the game that allowed y'all to be successful? No. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap, So I'm glad that this conversation is being had. I just want to start with that. And salute the panel, Donovan, Demetra, and everybody else.
I appreciate that. And yeah, so the video you're talking about is the one with the Asian. He was in San Francisco and he was angry that everybody else was not helping him. And he says, I guess everybody thinks it's okay to, attack Asian people. And it's like, y'all got protection or whatever. But I will say to you guys this, y'all know doing what I do, everybody does not agree with me. I had somebody, I'm assuming from the Asian community, because they have an Asian profile picture, told me that I better watch my back for that video. So I was like, okay, but people are after y'all, but you're telling me I better watch my back, huh? Okay.
But what was so threatening about your video, right? Because we're black people, right? We're supposed to be the savage, violent, belligerent group, but you just make basically you didn't even really talk. You said your piece. It was mainly him going off, and because and that's what I was saying. Even if they have the same beliefs as what Michael just said, they don't want it in public. They saying, yeah, you saying it's true, but we just don't want it public. So how is anything going to change if y'all try to acknowledge the facts in secret? It's kind of like that ugly girlfriend where the dude just smashed, but you don't want to take her in public. Nah, walk through the mall with me, right? We allies, or we in a relationship. They're like, no, I'm gonna just keep you in the dark at the booty call hours. That's what they try to do to our group of lineage of people. And just expect us to accept that, knowing that they wouldn't even accept a scintilla of what they're complaining about.
Yeah, so you're right. I didn't think I said anything wrong, but I think it's the expose of it all, right? Putting it out there. I mean, he said it. It's like, I don't know where in America you are. Obviously, he's in San Francisco, but it's like, where have you been? You guys got a hate crime bill off of demonizing black people and making us the boogeyman to the Asian community. That's all. If I'm on Twitter or anywhere else, I see Asians talking about how black people are attacking them. It's like, get the hell out of here. Now, y'all, it's like and Michael, you can speak to this as well, I'm sure. But it's like everybody else in this country is going to make black people, the savage. If
the scapegoat.
The scapegoat, yeah.
We know who the original savage is.
The white supremacy.
Unfortunately, but everybody else who comes over here, they say, oh, okay, well, we want to rub elbows with white supremacy. And so we're going to demonize Black people. But if you're paying attention, you know, we don't have any power. We have been treated the worst in this country, and everybody else comes over here and try to dogpile on and make us the aggressor. But it's like, we know goddamn well Los Angeles burnt down due to what happened to Latasha Harlins. Yeah, I know it was on, you know, Rodney King piggybacked off of that, but that was due to the frustrations with the relationship between the Blacks and the Koreans. And what happened to Latasha Harlins? That's what the 92 riots is what they call it. But I think it was 92 frustration was about.
Yeah, and
So
also
let's not forget that.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to explain what you're saying. Also, not only so, what I was going to yeah, sorry. So yeah, so it's kind of like I remember the movie I'm sure you've seen the movie called Passenger 57, right, with Wesley Snipes, and Wesley Snipes, John Cutter, told the white British guy who's a villain. He said, always bet on black, right? And remember how like William Payne told the police, be careful, John Cutter. He's very smooth talking person. He's the villain. And John Cutter's like, I'm not the villain. I'm the one who's trying to rescue people on the plane. I'm trying to save people's lives on the plane. You got the wrong person. It's not me. And so I could definitely relate, definitely, you know, definitely allude to that movie because it's the reality, right? And the reason why, and I understand the frustration, during the 1992 frustration, because at that time, initially, right, you know, the case being heard, the cases being heard for 4, you know, white police officers, right, who had brutally beaten Rodney King. Initially, it was supposed to be held in LA, but then they decided to move to Silicon Valley because they knew in Silicon Valley was going to be majority Mzungus, right? They're going to get better press, you know, coverage, and also the officers there will be more likely to be acquitted, which set the frustration in 92. And then, of course, and that was election year at that time when Bill Clinton was trying to buy the black votes as well. And a lot of Asian people to this day, you know, they've been victimized by white people. Well, a lot of Asian people are still like brainwashed, hardwired to think that black people are perpetrators of crime, but it's not. And even FBI statistics, like you said, Donovan before, Demetra and Philip Scott said, the majority of crimes committed against black people is actually white people. It's what? I think 80%, if I remember correctly. And even like Benjamin Crump, I posted the link. If you can see in the private section and the comments. Even Benjamin Crump said, you know, it's interesting that Asian people receive an anti-Asian hate crime. Why can't we do the same as well as us? Because I've seen Breonna Taylor and others being victimized, you know, year in, day out. So we need protection for communities. So I've signed the petition, and the bill has been introduced since 2000, I think, 16, 17. I remember the year exactly, but nothing has been done for the anti-black hate crime legislation. So I signed my name petition. So there's something that it could help you guys as well. You guys signed the petition. That way you guys can get the ball rolling, gain momentum. Because now Asian people, especially the Asian members of Congress, now they're going to have to be forced to introduce the anti-black hate crime legislation, just how the black congressional leaders introduced the anti-Asian hate crime. Because if Asian people don't do it in the Congress, especially, they're gonna see the repercussions coming in 2024 and beyond.
Cool. So let me say this. And how you doing, Sean? I hope I said that right. Give me 1 second. Miss Kilpatrick, you say to Farrakhan followers, he's a backstabber too. But the indoctrinated don't see it yet. That's why Farrakhan isn't attacked as much. Well, I'm going to tell y'all this. One thing y'all know about me is y'all can't come on my show talking bad about the minister. I am a follower of the minister. And so what we're not going to do is talk bad about the minister, because nobody on here as a collective, we can put all of our efforts together, has done what the minister has done for black people. And so unless your record can match up to that of his, I'm going to say what he said to Mike Wallace so many years ago: you should be quiet. All right. Shama Sean, I hope I said that right. How are you doing? I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I put you on mute. There you go.
Hey, Shalom. How you doing, Mr. Mitra?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
It's hot. I'm in Indianapolis. It's
Where you at?
Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. Texas is real hot.
Yeah. I talked to my brother Spike out there in Tucson. Said it was like 121 degrees a few weeks ago. But anyway, kind of get straight to what I want to come on your platform, and I appreciate you having me.
It's my pleasure.
Can I just kind of get straight to
Oh,
what's been on my
absolutely.
heart
We waiting
lately?
on you. We waiting on you,
Okay.
brother.
Well, for one, may 5-star rise again. You know, I met OG down there in Lafayette. Yeah, I just found out. I just recently found out about 5-star. But anyway, we definitely need it.
You know what? You're kind of cutting out a little bit, so I don't know if you need to maybe get somewhere and just kind of be still, because it's kind of going in and out.
Am I good right here?
You're good right there. Hold on one second. And Queen Cinnamon, if you do not want to be seen, you can put your picture back up. I see you though. You can put your picture back up. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Thank you. So I'm sure we're all familiar with the brother Otto.
You cut out again. Oh, I'm sorry. You cut out again. You said the brother who?
Can you hear me better right here?
Yep, stay right there. Don't move.
I'm sorry about that. I just moved into this house and I'm still just jugging off the 5G. I ain't got Wi-Fi yet.
It's all right, brother. It's all right.
Our brother Otto Wallace, our good comrade, our good active brother Otto Wallace.
Okay. I got you.
Okay, so yeah, what's on my heart? I guess I could just get into not understanding how, you know, some other people could do some major crimes and they can end up with $2 million in their legal defense fund for shooting up a school. Anyway, even take a brother like GMJ, a brother that's coming home. You know, Otto Wallace, man, they trying to snatch his life. You know, he ain't facing all day. They trying to take his life, and this far down the road, we can only come up with $70,000. And I'm tired of talking about what this brother's done for us. I'm 34 years old. I've been in Indiana my whole life. The backyard of the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, and the 3 Percenters. You know what I'm saying? I almost want to just say it really makes me sick to even know what's going through Otto Wallace's head right now.
So what did they? You said what did they get him for? Allegedly, what did they snatch him up for?
He's being charged with a capital murder of a police officer. That was not called on him. That was not. That did nothing but try to extort and harass my brother. And he was sitting out in front of his house, which is an apartment. The video's all over, you know. So
I'm gonna look into it. It said Arthur Wallace in Indianapolis.
No, Othal, Othal, Wallace, Wallace, and no, not here in Indiana, down in Florida.
Okay, Florida. Okay, so I'm gonna look into it. When did this happen?
It's crazy. Almost 2 years now.
2 years?
Almost 2 years, and all we get together is all that has came together is around $70,000 for our brother, which is going Othal.com. That's going straight to his legal. Go ahead. My bad. Was you about to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, and it's the first I've heard of this, so maybe there's not a lot of awareness out. So, is there some news footage or like articles or something I can read, and I can get more information?
well, you know, you go to, are you familiar with OC the Great, you know, in his little podcast, you know, cause once again, you know, I've been reaching out to Sinetta TV, you know, I've been, you know, my Israelite brothers, the ISUPK, the IUIC, just all this. How do I want to say this? I know what I want to say, but I will respect your platform. Thank you again for having me on here. I am just very, man, I'm not speaking for myself. We hurting about this, you know. This ain't about me, but let me just go ahead and tell you what's, you know, like I just caught a couple. I just got shot 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like finances ain't, and I put my little bit, you know, and it's really just, I done heard it come from so many different directions, like ask 1,000 people just for $1. It really kills me just to know, once again, that's the last time I'm gonna say exactly these words. What's going through my brother's head right now, because they keep on putting them in solitary confinement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I'm
this
seeing
brother's
people.
heart.
Yeah, I'm seeing people in the comment section, you know, talk about it. So what I want to do is I want to look into it because, you know, forgive me, I've never heard of it. But spell his first name for me one more time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Othel. Othal.
Okay, got it.
Wallace.
Otho Wallace.
Wallace.
I'm gonna look into it. And
Nickname Ozone. Ozone. If
Ozone.
you ever heard the name Ozone, that's who we talking about. A very active brother. You know, he gonna shed his own light because he gonna be home real soon, and even though it's another way of looking at things, it's just like one of my favorite rappers. I didn't even know of him before he died, Nipsey Hussle. Motherfuckers shouldn't, excuse my language, people shouldn't know Ozone after they try to give him life. You know, he needs to be known out here, and he's done too much. He's done a lot. But let
What?
me pipe down a little bit.
No,
Let me pipe down.
I get your passion, brother. But let me do this and let me look into it, and then do you have my email? Not Decoder, DK Demetra K rather. I got so many emails. Demetra K at gmail.com. Demetra K at gmail.com. If you want to send me some information, but I'll look into it. I've never heard of him before, but I'm sorry that that's happened to him, and I'm sorry that you were shot. I know that was a horrible experience, but give me a
I
chance.
shouldn't even say no. I'm fine.
That's
Forget
okay.
about that.
That's
I was
okay.
just more talking about how hard I'm trying to. You know, I do construction. I can't even do that. But you know, we Uber eating. We trying to do whatever just to put a little stuff into the. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like with all these organizations. And unless you ask me another question, this is the last I'll say. I really appreciate you just having me on the platform. I go on other people's platform, and just like I put in the comment section before I got in here, you know, hey, please support, you know, whoever, and they be deleting my comments, you know, and it's just like, man, out of all the repetitive.
Well, let me say this
Excuse
to
my
you.
language, but shit that y'all be talking about all day, every day, like we actually have a figure. Don't sit here and think I'm trying to call Ozone Christ or nothing, but he has that energy, you know. If you look at every picture, it wouldn't have been no NFAC without Ozone standing right there next to Grandmaster J. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna say that.
No, and I get it, you know, and you got to remember too, a lot of people with platforms, they get so much stuff coming at them, and I'm one of them, and I'm not making excuses for them, but you know, we should try our best to, you know, to do a little bit more outreach, because a lot of times people do just sit on these platforms, they see stories and they'll talk about it. But let me look into it and see what I can find, and maybe I can do a story on it. But
it's crazy. You say you don't know.
No, I don't.
Truth. No. That's that. I believe you, but it's just like that's you the first, but on the same page. Everybody that I'm speaking on with their platforms that could have had this man's, man, all the funds that they raising is mute and minute to me compared to what we need to do for our comrade out here. Because all I ever hear people talking about is how we need to support our own people. This Levite Haitian brother needs our help.
Well, let me look.
Nothing
Like I
less.
said, give me a chance, brother, to look. I know you're passionate. I understand, but give me a chance.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah, give me a chance to look into it. You know, I'm gonna look into it to see what I can do. But to my knowledge, I've never heard of him. Maybe when I look more into it, then it'll jog a memory of who he is. But I am very familiar with the NFAC, so give me a chance to do that. And then, like I said, email me at DimitraK@gmail, and then we can stay in touch, and I'll let you know what I come up with.
Hey, and Donovan, Mr. Mitra, I've been watching y'all for a minute. It was off of when 5 Star had the war zone. I've been going through my little things that's put gaps in between me being able to stay up on times. But yeah, I appreciate y'all platform. I appreciate what y'all do, man. And shalom, and I really salute y'all,
And you know what? We salute you too, and we love you, brother. Please stay up and come back and see us as often as you can, because I want to make sure you good out there.
We just got to get old home. We just need to give them a fight. And let me just make it clear: the lawyers, the defense team is clutch. Very, very good report card. You know what I'm saying? Very, very good report card. They're specialized in death penalty cases, and he ain't getting it. It like all the movies and all that where you say you're gonna watch it. I know people in the comments already know that brother did nothing that anybody else would have done. Anybody, especially the ones that's been talking shit the past 4 years, talking about police brutality and this is the if you can't jug off of this example. I don't call my phone if that makes sense.
I got you, brother. But like I said, please come back and see us again, and I'll let you know what I have come up with. But I'm gonna let some of these other people speak what's on their mind.
Shalom, I appreciate you, and rise again, 5 Star.
Absolutely. Peace.
Thank you. How do I don't even know how to get off of this.
I got you, brother. I got you. There you go. Oops. Okay. Queen Cinnamon. I ain't gonna say your name, but what's on your mind, sister? I muted you, so let me unmute you. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. They crazy out there.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just waiting for them to die out there. You know how the 2/3 are. I'm not addressing it as a disrespect when it comes to Farrakhan. But if we do not look deeper, then you won't understand where I'm coming from. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He does have ties to some grand KKK person. Okay? And if you don't look deeper...
Can you be specific?
Right now, no. I don't know the KKK man name, but if you look deeper in that rabbit hole, you'll find out that I'm telling the truth. Because when you have discernment and you ask for it daily, because we need to know who these people are that's so-called leading us. Okay? I'm not with the flesh like most people with the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm about the spirit. We're supposed to judge the spirit. So why is the spirit twisting things?
Well,
if you're really...
let me ask you this, Queen Cinnamon. On here, and I think you've watched us for quite a while.
Because I love you.
Yeah, and I love you too. But we want to deal with specifics, right? Where it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, right? So you telling me about the spirit and the flesh and rabbit holes and stuff like that, but you've given me no specifics. So when we make an accusation, we want to be able to back it up. So that's why I'm asking you questions.
Okay, just like you just told the brother before me that you gotta look into something, look into it.
I don't even know what I'm looking into. You haven't given me no specifics.
No, well, if you go to m.othal.org, like what he just was telling you about, if you go to the Black Authority that just had a broadcast, I guess last night, and I think the guy name was Kevin. Well, anyhow, he was speaking. Othel, I guess that's how you say his name. Wallace was speaking previously, and then someone else, I think his name was Kevin, uh, was speaking after, and the Black Authority was showing the uh, courtroom and the so-called, I guess, prosecutors or the cops, whatever. They really don't know or have anything on him, and it's a trumped up case. So if you go to m.othal.org, you will see what Othel Wallace side has to say, plus as many videos out there that's been out there for the last 2 years.
Are we
So
still talking about Farrakhan?
Yeah,
I'm talking about
no.
everybody, okay?
I'm just
Because I
saying
have
we
no
bound.
prejudice. I have
But I'm
no
saying you.
prejudice.
There was no specifics. You came up here insinuating things about the minister. You said he has
Okay, and
ties to
do
this
your
group.
diligence. Do your own
You would.
investigation. You know
Why?
what the
Why are
problem
you?
with our people? I don't care who's talking. You know what the problem with our people is?
Yeah, just like we don't care what your
Okay,
accusation.
okay, then shut up. I'm
You
talking
shut
now.
up. You
Wait,
ain't
hold on,
proving
hold on,
nothing.
hold
No,
on,
You
no,
hold
no,
just
on.
no.
babbling right
No,
now.
you coming in and
Wait,
speaking
wait,
when I'm
wait, 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 wait,
speaking.
wait, 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 wait.
I
Queen,
didn't do that to nobody on this panel.
hold on, Queen, Miss Beautiful Lady.
Actually, I waited until you finished.
He did. Okay, hold on a second.
Mm,
Hold on. What we don't want to do is tell people.
mm.
We don't want people to tell people to shut up. And as I always say too on this show, things get heated, but we got to leave our ego at the door. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
have an ego,
I said we.
but I was
I
speaking.
said, wait. Now this is still my show. Last time I checked. I said, we got to check our egos at the door, dear sister. And I agree with B. He's saying you came up on here making accusations, but you told me to go do my research, but you haven't told me anything specifically. So I'm just saying, if you know something that we should know, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, please tell me where I need to go. But it is kind of all over the place, sister. So that's why we're just wanting to know. You talk about the spirit and the flesh and all this other stuff, but it's like you said Farrakhan was into some KKK, but that's all you
And
said.
I hear y'all talk about discernment, right?
I mean, yeah, but what does that have to do
Okay,
with
then ask
Farrakhan?
for it.
I,
Ask for the guidance.
I,
Ask for the
I, I,
when I asked for the guidance, I saw it. So if
but what did
what
you see?
that he is in cahoots with the KKK.
How? Okay, wait, because wait a minute. What? Listen, I would get up. I got some little shorts on. Okay, I don't want y'all to see y'all. I have a lot of books over here, and I do get off into the Bible. I also know with discernment is pretty clear for the most part. So you telling me some spirit has spoken to your gift of discernment, but they didn't give you no details. Do you know how that sounds
Do
like
you do
personality?
you know how much is being wiped off the internet so that we don't know?
But you know what did we do before the internet?
What did we do?
Then we dig
Go,
up off
go,
in the books. Didn't we get some first-hand accounts? Like, were we not knowledgeable before the internet?
yes. And where did we go?
So you saying we weren't knowledgeable before the
No, I
internet?
said yes.
We're right. So what do you mean things are wiped off the internet? If I never went on the internet again, I'm not gonna be stupid. I have some smarts before I got on the internet. So sister, I'm not trying to again be disrespectful to you, but you're telling me that you use discernment and you learned some things about Farrakhan and the KKK via discernment, but you haven't given us no details.
Okay, why is it so easy for us to believe that it's all about the white man, but it's not about the black man and what the black man would do to boost himself and get it ahead of us? Huh? Why is the gatekeepers always about the white man and what the white man put as far as our people before us so that we get lost and confused?
Okay, so let me ask you this, sister. You say you're pretty intelligent, right? You got discernment of spirit and all that other stuff, right?
Yes, I am.
So why do you need Farrakhan to lead you anywhere if you
Oh,
know?
Farrakhan don't lead me. I listen to the messages
Oh,
and I know how to untwist some of the messages that he is saying to us, just like we do to
can
the
you
other people. Like, wait, just like we do to the Christians,
hold
just like we do to
on.
all.
But can you untwist the white man? What he's saying to you, or you just
Yeah, I do.
So what?
Yeah.
So what does the spirit tell you about the white man?
Almighty could use any person, any vessel
But so
to
again,
get across
it,
what he needs
I
for
get
us.
it. But sister, you up on here, no disrespect, you said a bunch of nothing,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you just haven't. Like I'm,
Okay.
if you want me to be concerned, like with the last brother that came on here, he informed me about something I had no knowledge of, and I said I'm gonna look into it. You come on here talking about Farrakhan is in cahoots with the KKK because some spirit from wherever told you that was the case, but you ain't give me no details.
And the proof was there, but I can't give you the proof. The proof has been erased. But you want to combat me because you don't believe it because you can't possibly find it. It's okay, Demetria.
What did you see?
It's okay. It's okay. I still love you. I'm not here to debate with you and nobody up here. But just like we all see what the Most High is doing right now, he's wiping off the enemy. Okay? I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care where you come from. He's destroying the enemy.
That we can agree on, but I'm trying to figure out how Farrakhan got caught up in this whole witchcraft, technology stuff. How did he get caught up in that?
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not arguing. Like, why is asking?
I'm not going to debate with you.
I'm not debating.
I just know what I know. And okay,
you told us what you know.
You have discernment. You say you have discernment. Ask for it.
Actually, you got
ask for it.
Discernment is
ask for it to give you the.
I don't need to do that because you know what my discernment is telling me that we didn't take it for a ride. Y'all ever see that was an Abbott and Costello? Who's on first? I don't know. Who's on second? Who's on third? That you like you taking us for a ride. And so
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, you
no,
are.
I'm not.
But
no, I just know what I know, and you just don't know what I know, and we can leave it at that.
You ain't told us what you know. We're trying to figure out. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I mean, I love you, but I'm just saying, I don't know. Help me.
I love my people too. I love my people too.
I don't know what we're doing here. We just spent 10 minutes.
No, but you're going to tell me what I did find out that is not true because
you ain't told me what you didn't found out. What did you find out?
Does anyone know the name of the KKK leader that he was in cahoots with? Because we know Louis Farrakhan's name. Do we know the name of at least one KK leader that he's allegedly in cahoots with? Anyone?
Well, I have a question in regard now. Is she talking way back when Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X referenced the fact that they were talking to KKK members in regards to separation? Is that where she's going with it?
Well, one thing we never gonna do, and I love you for that, Nana, because I knew about that, but she came on here leveling allegations that she refused to talk about. So don't help her. She don't know.
No, he's not helping me. He's telling you the truth.
Listen, stop. Because this is lunacy. It's lunacy.
Yeah, I'm lunacy.
I said, hold on. Next, who else has something to talk about? Because what I'm not going to do is go round and round over silliness. And Donovan, I'm not mad at you or nothing like that, but I'm saying don't help her. Don't. She came on here talking about something she has no knowledge of, the spirits and Casper the Ghost and all these other people told her something that she didn't tell us what they. I knew that's where she was going, but she don't need you to help her.
Right. No, I wasn't going to help her. I was trying to figure out, is she referencing that thing that Malcolm X had alleged back in the day that was proven not to be true?
Let her tell us that.
Yeah.
Let her tell us that, because she's going round and round in circles over some nonsense, the total nonsense. And it was entertaining for a couple of minutes. But anyway, let's get back to brass tacks. I want to address this really quick. Let's see. And Arson, how you doing? And everybody else that came on here, yikes! I don't drink anymore, but jeez, I think I'm a
Man, this been one of them shows.
I'm gonna go look in the closet or cabinet or something. See if there's some rubbing alcohol. Top notch rocker, how you doing? Will, I saw you had a question about bricks, and I want to get to it. I apologize about all of this. Oof. Where did it go?
No need to apologize. I actually was going to commend you on your patience because you let that go on. Like, I'm just literally, and I did wait until she stopped. So I didn't talk over her, and she was just going on and on with the song and dance. And, I had to put my tiny violin down and try to interject to add some direction. So let me give you your props because you allowed that to go on way longer than it should have.
And I really do. I have a lot of patience. I do, but like we're just going around in circles, and it's lunacy.
Yeah.
Come on here, state your case. What is it your problem? But you're talking about the Holy Ghost and the spirits and all these other people that told you something, but you can't tell us. And it's like, come on now, Jesus.
Yeah. You might need a bell next time to de-escalate things. It'd be much easier. But I did research for the KK Lee, if this is correct. Is it Thomas Rubb? I posted in the private chat. I'm not sure it's the correct one that she was referring to earlier.
But
but that's at least something you can look up, right?
Right. I just Googled like 10 minutes
ago. Let me say this, and not to cut y'all off.
Sir.
I knew what she was talking about, and I'm not gonna give it a conversation because y'all know how I feel about Farrakhan, and people always want to slander the minister, but they don't have nothing to back it up. They just bumping their gums and something they probably heard from white supremacy about the minister. So we're not even gonna give what she's saying any more credence because she couldn't even back it up. Got all that to say and couldn't even back it up. But anyway, Will says so. Is the spiritual? Is this the spiritual stream? One time we had a Bible study and it got off the chain. Say, what about bricks? And I forget your original question about bricks. So you just want to know about it. So that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They're coming up with some sort of a currency to get away from the U.S. dollar. They're moving away from the West. And just kind of trying to do their own thing. Of course, the West being, Britain and the United States, they're like, well, we will never let you do it. And they're like, we don't need your permission to do that. Now, will it actually happen? It looks very promising. There's 30 plus other nations that actually want to join with BRICS. So that could definitely cause a problem for the US dollar. So I don't think the United States has much of a say so. Like they tried to bully South Africa by accusing them of supplying nuclear weapons to Russia. And it's like, come on, that sounds very backwards. But I don't think they have much power. Right. Of course, you guys know with, Muammar Gaddafi, he was trying to do that with the African nations and to move away from the dollar. And y'all know what happened with him. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if you've been following it, but more important than BRICS is something that's going to progress over the time. But currently, right now, there's a coup in Niger. They had one in Burkina Faso and Mali, but they didn't care. But the French, they get a lot of their uranium and it powers most of their electrical grid. They get most of the gold there. It's still a neo colony, and Russia has been coming in. Russia wiped a lot of debt from I think like 20 some odd billion, and they've been giving the African nations free grain, and now Nigeria is getting into it, but they're got a battery in their back from France that they might invade Niger. So it's a lot of stuff going on, and since Russia is helping them with the Wagner group. And helping them like carry out this military coup. The U.S. don't mind if they do the military coup. They just don't want the African people deciding to do their own. So that's a really developing story, because what they typically do is they get someone over there, some traitor like Bazoum, and they sell their people out, and they have a plan, and they say he was democratically elected. This is what the people want. And they'll also have those like what is that, Boko Haram? even the people from Niger, they're accusing the French that they fund ISIS, right? They fund all of these groups and say, look, just like Haiti, we need to go over there and stabilize the region. So they already have 3 bases in Niger, but I'll just land right there. I think that's more of a pressing topic than the BRICS, because that's like right now happening.
Yeah, and with the United States, and I call it Niger, some people call it Niger. They are kind of baffled because they trained some of the troops there, and they're like, "What the hell? You know, we didn't train y'all to do that."
They invested over 100 million into the training, they said.
Yeah, and a total of 500 million. There, like you said, they got military bases that deal with the drones and all of that kind of stuff. But as I said to y'all, I read this book a long time ago called The Tattooed Soldier. It's a really good book by Hector Tovar, and he talked about how the United States, they invest in other countries and to stabilize the governments. And then sometimes the governments, if you will, go rogue, and it's kind of egg on the United States' face. But they're like, we don't know what to do. We don't know whether to, I guess, shut them down or try to work with them, you know. But it's like, nah, it backfired on you. African nations are starting to stick together, and the United States don't know what to do about it.
Right. And also, I would like to add on what BEC, that dude, said, and what you guys said about BRICS. Yeah. So a lot of BRICS, especially young people who are leading, they're telling their prime ministers, don't make a deal with the devil. How do you know the deal with the devil is going to be good when you know it's going to self-destruct the resources, the minerals, right? Uranium from African nations, because the West knows that, Western countries know that they're losing power, you know, over time, and it's the beginning of an end, not the end of the beginning, and so that's why they want to hold on to those resources. So they're trying to find ways to continue to colonize African nations, you know, 2.0, but very discreet and very indirect. Even like China, who's part of BRICS, told, it's funny how America told China, you guys need to practice democracy, human rights. And the Chinese prime minister said, okay, America, you tell us to practice human rights, but how about you guys? But how about you in your country, America? Look, you guys don't treat black people well. How can you say that we need to practice, you know, human rights? And I'm glad the Chinese prime minister, or the Chinese prime minister called America for it, because America is a very, how do I say this? America likes to contradict itself to show the world that we're like superpower. We have good we're very good on human rights, but the data shows that America's the record shows that America's promise and staying on human rights is not very good, and a lot of countries are speaking against America's, you know, supposedly, you know, human rights, you know, philosophy, especially from the young people, and the young people are calling America out. And I'm glad that the young people in the African nations are like standing firm, especially Julius and Lemma. I like his song about the Boers, if I remember correctly, and said that the West owes countries. and it's funny because a lot of the Westerners in South Africa, they misunderstood Julius Malema's song. They misunderstood it. Like when he said about getting rid of the Boers, he doesn't mean like physical, but he's telling them you guys need to go, because you guys been in South Africa so long, during colonization and after colonization, and our people need our land back, our property, autonomy, ownership.
Yeah, and that's it's not new. You know, they've been saying that for a long time. Y'all got to pack your bags and go. So, I mean, it's nothing new. I think they're a little concerned now, they being the white folks over there, because the EFF is getting really close to assuming power.
Majority.
Yeah. So I think that now they're like, help, you know, because y'all saw the stadium, that the soccer stadium that they had there, and it was full to the brim.
Yeah, like they said, like over 40K.
Yeah, so they see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing is, if you look at the writing on the wall there, it parallels what goes on here. As the baby boomers, and let's just be real, I hate to say this, nobody wants to go, but as they move on to become our ancestors and stuff, there's less of them and there's more of the younger generation coming in. And that's exactly what's happening there. Because whenever I talk to my friends that are from South Africa or from Africa in general, but especially the South African ones, I tell them apartheid ended almost 40 years ago. And yet white people are still in power. Now, will Julius Malema give the land to to the native people over there? We don't know yet until he has the power. But as it stands right now under Ramaphosa and all those boys, ain't nothing changing. So, you know, if these people better get ready, because again, at the end of the day, unlike black folks here in America, where we don't know where we're originally from and we really can't claim a homeland. We can claim a continent, we can't claim a homeland. Those Boers, they can go back to Netherlands, they can go back to Amsterdam, you know, if need be.
Right.
You know, so
yeah, and also and you know the reason why the Dutch don't want to go back to the Netherlands, because the people in the Netherlands don't want to tolerate their Karens, entitlement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing in Australia. They're like, we don't want them here. Them people are ignorant.
Right, and it's funny because it's funny that the Dutch people, they love South Africa so much, right? But they don't like the people. But at the same time, they can't stay away from them. You know what I mean? Because of the the mineral resources, also because they know in South Africa the life for them is more relaxing, whereas the natives who live there, it's not relaxed for them. So for them, they have to hustle every day. And even like Antonio Moore, I'm sure you guys familiar with Antonio Moore, who's part of the ADOS for reparation. And I'll just read the quote. He said something interesting. You better understand the madness. Back in 1990, the average black family made $37,000, while the typical home was priced at around $100,000. Just a simple threefold multiplier. Fast forward to 2023, and the median black household income has only risen to about $45,000, while the median home price has skyrocketed to over $410,000. That is nearly a tenfold multiplier. No politics was done to push back. Instead, just applauding bootstrapperism and praise for Obama and his neoliberalism and ushering in gig jobs. And who's benefiting from this outrageous disparity? Well, it is the privileged white folks, thanks to their baby boomer parents actually providing the required transfers to live today. There is a price to pay for having an educated elite adult as a child in 2023. It ain't free. That's for damn sure. Make sure you don't let a boomer make you hold their political failure by blaming you for their
And Michael, not to cut you off, how long was this article?
Oh, this was from Twitter. I just saw a comment today. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So what Antonio was trying to say was trying to tell young people, don't let baby boomers blame for your failure. It's actually baby boomers who benefited from the intergenerational transfer of wealth from them to their loved ones. And so the baby boomers like to use the carries the bootstrap myth that you got to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. And what a lot of baby boomers, like Donovan says, that the baby boomers, they had it like much easier than Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z in the last 40, 50 years. So nothing has changed when it comes to black medium income. It's gone up a little, but it's still stagnant. Whereas home prices are going up every year, and nothing's going to change. That's what I think Antonio Moore is trying to say.
Got you. Let's see here. Aka Wamaki. I can't see the rest of your name. Can I see your face before I bring you up to the big screen? If you don't mind. And we have about another 30 minutes here. Give probably more take than anything. Yes, Michael is very knowledgeable. We love and appreciate him for that. You guys want to change the subject and talk about anything else, we can. And like I said, Aka Wamaki, can I see your face? And then you can black it back out if you want to put your picture up. I just want to make sure. I got you. Okay, you can put your picture back up if you want to. There you go. All right, what's on your mind?
Hello, everyone. Greetings to everyone. I've enjoyed your show, and I've been enjoying your show for a while. I just wanted to make a comment because, we were talking about a lot of people reaching out for help, so-called people in, Maui and then South Africa, the struggle over there. And but, the reality is I heard Donovan mention, they have a homeland to claim. But I'm here to say that a lot of us so-called African Americans, can claim Africa, but we're mistaken. That is not our home. We are actually the copper-colored people of this land, and we actually, many of us, I would almost venture to say the majority of us, can claim America as our homeland, and actually have documented proof to do so. I'm actively pro se in litigation since 2021 for my land. All four of my grandparents are of the same heritage in Virginia. And the Indians were not like the Pocahontas pictures. The recorded images and written description of the original people of America were dark, melanated people, chestnut brown, various shades of brown, copper-colored people with gross, thick black hair. And as William Strachey wrote in his book in 1612, we had great big lips, which you would never hear a Native American described as great big lips, various shades of brown, copper-colored, gross hair, noses that are broad at the ends. That is the way it is written by William Strachey in 1612. But the real major thing about us knowing who we are is your family. Do your research. When you look into your family and look into your genealogy, then you will see that that's how you'll find out exactly who you are. A lot of things have been done to mislead the African-American, so-called African-American Negro people here. A lot has been done to make us believe that this is not our homeland. That's on intention. You cannot fight for what you don't know. You cannot claim what you don't know. It's best that you are an immigrant in your own land. That way, they tried to tell us, King tried to tell us, the Civil Rights Act is an Indian Act. The 1968 Civil Rights Act is called the Indian Act, okay? King told us. We also know that many of our other niggas told us that Plymouth Rock landed on us. We have to understand that if we actually do the research beyond the lies that we're being told, then we would actually, have the understanding of who we are, and then proceed to kind of find out exactly what you are, who you are, what you actually have in this country. Your inheritance is sitting there waiting for you. They just don't want you to know it. I close my mic.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, sister, for that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of us who are indigenous to America, so not all of us were. Our ancestors rather are snatched from Africa and brought over here. So no, that's absolutely true. And I guess I get the argument of a lot of people, saying go back to Africa, whatever the case is. And you're right. This land does belong to Black people as well. As Brother Jonell said, the whole planet is ours. So we need to claim that as well, because everybody comes from us. But I think the other argument too is, well, let's blow this joint, right? Let's get our reparations and leave, and go to Africa, where we are the majority, I guess, opposed to being here and enduring all the horror that we still endure as Black people. So I actually get both arguments. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Africa is not really is the majority, but they haven't really been able to do anything positive for themselves with that majority that they have there. I mean, we just talked about South Africa. We fought to help them get the freedom that they have now, and they still can't take that football and run with it. They still can't, win that game. So the reality is that, here in our country, we can't claim anything in Africa. You can take your reparations and go there, but you're gonna spend them reparations, and they're gonna have your money. But here you have land that you are owed, land that's yours, land that you better not be paying for, really. And the other thing is, they also owe you all the damages that comes with all the things that they've done to us. So that's another thing. I mean, none of my people ever wanted to leave this country. My great parents never said that they were from Africa. My grandparents said, well, we from here and we got some Indian in us. That's about all I've heard. I've never heard any oral histories of Africa in my family. and that's for a good reason. As dark complected as my grandparents were, they never claimed Africa. And as a matter of fact, the darkest of my grandparents are the ones who are connected to the reservation land that was dissolved back in 16. It was, well, anyway, it really probably wasn't ever literally dissolved, but
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely wasn't. And
I
and
mean,
and the
literally.
treatment too. I was just gonna say, and I agree with everything that you just said. In Oklahoma, this was this year. What people don't want to talk about, see, when the narrative about the Native Americans, the red natives, it's always that what was them, they were genocided. But they don't talk about the interracial relationships that was going on. They don't talk about the brutal, barbaric slave practices of them. They were not only slave holders, they were slave catchers as well. They talk about the Trail of Tears. They don't bring the context of them being genocided and then their slaves that they were okay with, right? So it's either they were against slavery or they were for it. But you never, it's only just the scary European that they talk about in that context of slavery. And I'm saying that to say that the black Indians now, this just happened in a case in Oklahoma. They fight to make sure that nope, you can't you can't claim our ancestry. They got all sorts of blood rules and pacts. But when you look at I don't remember the year, but just look up the Dawes roll. That's how that $5 Indian phrase came up. They have no issue with the white people paying to say I present to you Elizabeth Warren. They have no problems with them. But if you try to claim what you're actually entitled to, like this is what my ancestry and lineage really is, you get nothing. And this is the last thing I'll say. Even if you look in that COVID bill, they're getting reparations today. Currently, they've always been getting reparations. Anyone could just Google how many times has Native Americans got reparations. They get all sorts of tax subsidies, sovereign land. In the COVID bill, they got 20 billion allocated just towards like certain tribes. And Joe Biden said reparations is off the table unless it includes Native Americans.
Well,
I'll land with that.
let me clarify that and speak to what he said, especially since he kind of preempted me. But let me say that first of all, I'm not Native American. Native Americans and American Indians are not the same people. The people of the plains, those Native Americans. First of all, there's three different types of Indians, or at least three. The first ones are the indigenous people that came all the way across, all throughout the seaboard, from the top Maine or whatever, New England, all the way down to Florida, around across out Louisiana, down through Texas, Arizona, all the way to California, and through the middle of the country, the middle south, the middle of the country in the south. Those were the Negroid American Indians. Those people, these are first contact people of America. The second type of Indians that there are the Native Americans. There's two different types of Native Americans. The first type of Native Americans are those that were created by the U.S. government after the Revolutionary War. After the Revolutionary War in the 1800s, they organized, they actually murdered the Negroid chiefs of the 5 civilized tribes, took them down, and then replaced them with white, Scottish, and Irish chiefs who didn't even speak Cherokee. They didn't speak Cherokee, and John Ross was made the chief of the Cherokee in the 1840s. Mm-hmm. At that same time, you got to understand, after the Revolutionary War, that's when they took over the country. The country was taken over by Europeans with the daggone Revolutionary War. That was the purpose of it. And after that, they and their other Europeans took over the daggone continent, sought the route to the Pacific. That's when they met those Native Americans. They didn't know about those Siberian Native Americans that existed in the Great Plains until after 1806 with the Louisiana Purchase. So those are different people. Yes, they give them lots of funding, or, they give it and they take it away. I'll tell you the truth. They give them money, and then, secret as it is, they take that money from them, from having communication and relationship with those people. I know that the government may put a bigger show of what they give, but they also will retract that money just as fast as they give it. But those people do get funding, but it's because they're stooges. They're standing in the place of the real.
And let me say this, not to cut y'all off. My dear brother Joe Nell, he has an excellent point, and that's kind of why I tried to give both sides of the story, because as he said, don't worry, sister, it will all come to us as it's written. Don't get so caught up on the divide. We are native, are all over the earth. We are native all over the earth. That's why it was colonized when we let the European out of the caves, and after our Moorish family and Musa civilized the European. And that's absolutely true. I mean, regardless of where we're from, whether we're indigenous to here or to Africa, wherever we're from, though it's owed to us.
Well, nothing's going to happen without you taking action. Just like in South Africa,
I get it. Without, I get it.
You have to pray,
I get it.
and you have to move. You can't expect God to do things for you. Oh, I'm so hungry, and you got food right outside your door. You're not walking outside.
Okay, well then, sister, let me ask you this then: what magic that do you have that has not already been used to help us get what's ours?
Well, first of all, we don't even know who we are. First, I would say the magic I would say is for you to actually do your research.
Okay, but let me say this. Let me say this, because these white folks know who we are. Let's cut all that, because what they owe us.
But if you don't exert your title,
wait, sister, wait. They know who we are, and if we are have some Kermit the Frog blood up in us, they know the horrors that they have exacted upon Black people in this country, regardless of where we've come from our ancestors all the way to present day. They know. So to say that we don't know where we come from, that puts the onus on us. It is not on us to keep proving to these devils who we are and the money that we owe us. See, this conversation we have here, that's to keep us fighting about, well, where are you from and where are you from? Hell, none of us have knowledge of self, if you ask me. But regardless of where we are, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't, which is why we spend a lot of time.
Let
me finish. Listen, trust me. Trust me. I will not sit up on this show and just bump my gums like a lot of people do. I am well versed, but what I do know is that we have such a schism in our community. And as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, and a whole host of other people, we as Black people, we beat our chests all day long about stuff that's not going to help us move the needle. But trust me, that the people who need to write that check, they know who we are. So that the onus is not on us. We should have knowledge of self just so we know, who we are and all of that. But whether we know who we are or not, that ain't gonna make them move the needle.
They're not okay. So let me tell you, they're not. They have this land to risk, not just reparations. Okay, so they have this whole continent at risk. Okay, because maybe everybody doesn't want to exert their rights over their inheritance and their land, but reparations ain't gonna happen because they have a lot to risk. They know who we are. I'm not going to deny that either. But if you sit up there and you're saying, I'm from Africa, I'm take my money and go to Africa, that's what they want you to do. They win. And so the confusion is on purpose. Okay.
Well, but everybody don't want to stay here. What's wrong with that? Everybody don't want to stay.
If you want to go, I'm fine with it. But the reality is that because of that, that's the mechanism they created for you. That's the trap they set for you. You're falling into their plan. So that's fine if you want to go ahead and go with their plan and you don't want to be there. But I don't really understand anybody being here and present when you can get a plane ride at any moment and just get out of here. I don't understand anybody staying. But
you're gonna have to take a pause so somebody else can jump in here now. There's a lot of people.
But wait. You let that young man talk forever, and he wasn't really saying anything. You let him pen and Paul. But I have real things to say.
I know you got a lot of good things to say, but you ain't the only one on this show. We got dear Keisha been on here patiently waiting to say something. So what I'm saying is there's people who have left up out of here. There's some people like, I'm not leaving until I get what's mine. And I don't have a problem with any of it.
They're never going to do that. They're never going to give reparations. That's not going to happen. First of all, they were slaves.
All right,
the whites were enslaved. So how are they going to do reparations when white slavery existed?
Right. Let me get Keisha. Keisha, what's on your mind, dear sister? Keisha. Miss Callwood, you there?
You ever see that video where the people they're waiting for a thing and they fall asleep?
Yeah, but
wait, hold on.
That dating show.
Let me see if Keisha. I don't, for whatever reason, she's not on mute, so I don't know. Maybe we lost a connection. You want to reconnect, or reconnect and come on here and speak your mind.
Good
Yeah,
conversation though so far. Keep
yeah.
going.
I mean,
Oh,
there you
hello.
go. There you go.
Oh, I've been saying hello and chatting, and then you guys couldn't hear me.
We can hear you now, love. What's on your mind?
Well, let me just start over. I am so happy to be here and that I didn't miss you. I've been missing you guys, and I love coming here because this is like one of the only places I hear these types of conversations in depth. And so I want to thank you all for allowing us to just share our heart, first of all. So thank you, Demetria. Thank you, Donovan. This is an amazing show. Thank you, first of all, for that.
You're welcome.
And then I just wanted to add, you know, I'm glad that we're all I'm glad that we are all actually waking up and that we're passionate about who we are inside of me. And this is just my feeling. I'm not trying to put it on anybody else. But in doing our research, we know that this landmass was one at one point, and that what is now known as North America, Central America, and South America was called the Maghreb. It was just the westernmost part of Africa, and that North America was the North Gate. So it's not that we are so much different people. We are just a separated people. And that's how I feel about it. I'm not trying to make anybody else feel that way about it. That's just the way I take it. And I'm just so happy to hear Black people talk about being a more, because I don't hear that. Even when I look at the dollar bill, every time I flip a dollar bill over and I see our seal, it does something inside of me. I don't know if it does it to anybody else, but it does it for me. And even in that, when I was little, I didn't know that. It took me to be an adult to find that out. So just that sense of oneness and understanding of who you are. I don't think we need to use these things to separate us. I think we need to use it as a way to bolster and support each other in whichever part. If you want to stay, if you want to go, however your feeling is, you're my people and I stand with you. So
Well,
that was my 2 cents.
we should have brought you on sooner, sister. Because I mean, you're right. Regardless of where you're from or where you're told you're from, where you learned that you're from, and then what you do with the money you get and where you go, that's on you. Like, I don't have a dog in the fight. I wherever you go on this planet, I wish you a peaceful journey and happiness and all the love. I wish wherever you go that you don't ever have to deal with trauma of white supremacy or trauma from anywhere. I really feel like that, but I just think sometimes, and this is not to anybody specific, I just think sometimes we spend too much. Donovan, you already know. I just think sometimes we spend too much time on being divisive, and at the end of the day, I mean, we are one, whether we believe it or not. I know there's some sectors of people out there who like, I'm this, or I'm that. I'm just here. How about that? I'm just happy to be here.
Right. And yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you see it as a division, but the reality is that, I just want people to know what kind of power you can have as actually organizing yourself as your indigenous people. That's the only way we're going to be able to self-protect. That's the only way you're going to be able to say, I'm out of your jurisdiction, and protect each other. Like that brother he was talking about, I don't know if he's indigenous to Florida. I don't know his history. I don't know his background. But if he was actually indigenous to Florida, then he could organize himself as a people that he actually is. And then that in court, he would be able to make a different type of stand. And in this country, you can make a different type of stand. I don't say that because I'm just making it up. I'm saying it because we've been able to stand up in court in criminal situations and protect our people. And that's just a recent occurrence. And that's something that I've only recently learned by repatriating my people. And I'm trying to share something that will benefit people. It's not something negative, it's something positive. I don't really understand why it's hitting you that way, because it really shouldn't. Because we really should be in a position where we can self-protect and we can represent each other and protect each other and reclaim what's ours. But if that's a negative thing in your eyes, then I'm sorry that you see it that way.
I don't think that is necessarily negative. I'm just more or less like, the onus is not on us to figure out where we're from and all that other stuff. They know they owe a debt to Black people, whether you, like I said, I don't want to be repetitive, but they know they owe us the debt. And I just think when we keep, and I'm not begrudging anybody of anything. I can't tell anybody what to do, But I hear this conversation a lot, and at the end of the day, they owe us the money regardless. We've done enough convincing
What's
them.
gonna make them do it? They haven't done it in all this time.
You tell me. You tell me.
They're
What's
not
gonna
going
make
to
them do it?
They're just not. Because if they're gonna let everybody else jump in front of us in line, all these new races, immigrants, whether they're Asian, Ukrainian, they all get reparations. Japanese, everybody gets reparations. Everybody can get some except us. So what's gonna make them change?
You know what's gonna make them do it? And this is actually not a new idea. Okay, the Honorable Marcus Garvey's birthday was not too long ago, and he has said it: "Up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will." All those other people that you just spoke of, y'all know I get tired when I have to lay back in my chair. Let me sit up. The thing that other people have,
you not get tired. You have more work to do after the show, so keep going.
You ain't lying. It's a lie. I do. I got, man. But the thing that's going to make us pixelating. Sorry, the thing that's going to make us do or them do something is our unity, and we know that it's been said it's not a new idea that our unity is a threat to them. So as soon as we get on one accord and we say, hey, we're not going to continue voting for the Democrats that do nothing for us. We're going to stop fighting with each other over the black man ain't this and the black woman ain't that and all that other. As soon as we get on the same page, then we're going to move the needle. But they know as long as we're disjointed and we argue about everything, including the time of day at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, they're going to sit back and watch like, oh, okay, them Negroes ain't never going to get on the same page. And a lot of times they're driving that. So I'm not saying that we should not know these things. I'm just saying that at some point in time, we got to get on the same page. That is what
Marcus Garvey didn't unify anyone. Marcus Garvey.
That's a lie. That's a lie. No, it's not. It's a lie.
Hired by white supremacists.
Wait. See, one thing, and everybody who's been on this show, what we're not going to do is lie. We're not. Wait.
Oh, that's not a lie.
It is a lie.
No, there's pictures of him with Walter Plecker. What are you talking about? I'll bring it right up. I'll show you the picture.
Hey, listen, ma'am.
He didn't even go to Africa.
Ma'am.
Where did he go?
Ma'am.
He went to England, where he came from. He did not die in Africa. He did not go to Africa.
How y'all doing? Okay, so let me say this. This is the first time in history that I've had to remove people off of the two people off of the panel. Okay, I don't mind having a conversation, but what you're not gonna do is be hollering and talking over me and all that other stuff. Before it was the brothers that was acting up, but I think y'all got y'all stuff together. Now it's the sisters coming on here. We can have a conversation, but listen, this whole little Marcus Garvey thing is new. Within the last couple of years, it was not nan Negro attacking Marcus Garvey until black people got into these little sections, and now Marcus Garvey ain't shit. What we're not going to do is lie on Marcus Garvey. If you have an opinion about Marcus Garvey, great, but don't come on here doing that. Two things you cannot, there's several things you can't do, but today I wanted to make a list. You're not coming on my show talking stuff about Farrakhan, and you're not going to come on here lying about Marcus Garvey, talking about he didn't unite people. Knock it off. There's plenty of records from J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI, to prove that Marcus Garvey was doing something enough for them to do what they did to him. So don't lie to kick it. But anyway, my dear brother Arson, how you doing, baby? Let me unmute you. There you go.
All right. Hey, I'm all right. I'm good. Wow. Okay. Well, that was good.
It's been one of them shows. I told you, Demetri.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's because kind of the reason I was coming on was it was more to ask a question to that girl there, but you just hung up on her. So, I mean, that's it's pointless, really. I don't know. It was about what she was saying. I guess it could go to you too, mind you. So my question was really, and by the way, thanks for saying something about Marcus Garvey, Demetra, because that could have gone a whole. No, what I was gonna ask is just for those who don't know, like I'm like north of the States, I'm in Canada, so my point was just when you guys say you're not from you're indigenous to America, whatever, okay, it's cool. Not from Africa, whatever, okay, it's cool, it's all that. But my question is like, do you mean to say that you never ever came from Africa? Is that what they mean to say, or is that just that they were not imported like during the transatlantic slave trade? Like,
Well, so they're saying that and it's true. There are Black people who were already here, right? We're from everywhere. It's just a fact. So
I believe that. That's what I believe.
it's a fact. It's a fact. And don't get me to get no technical terms now because we're tired. But it's a fact that Black people were already here. But then come on, we're not going to deny the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, there's Black people from Africa that were brought over here, right? And not just here, but everywhere. That's why we call it the African diaspora. But
Okay.
I try my best not to get into those type of conversations because it's I don't want to say as much to do about nothing. It's important, but to say until we learn who we are, then we're not gonna get nothing. It's like, come on now. That puts the ball in our court. Well, until you get in these books and learn who you are, these white people gonna write a check. They're not gonna do that. We know what's gonna make them write a check, and that's our unity.
Exactly.
And they've been doing everything since we got here for the most part, or were brought here to make sure that we were never unified. And I mean, look what Black people got unified during the Black Wall Streets and all that. Look what they did. And even to this day, they're like, y'all not gonna tell me that it ain't some white people that sit on the internet pretending to be Black, sowing discourse amongst Black people. Whether we argue about the Black man, the Black woman, the this, the that, we argue about everything. It's like at one point in time, do we just say, Black people, let's get on the same page? Let me tell y'all something. White supremacy. I sound like Fire Marshal. What's his name? Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
White supremacy. When they pull a black man over, he ain't gonna say, Arson, are you from Canada? Are you a United States Negro?
Are you a recovering Democrat or are you a conservative?
They ain't checking about that. They like, oh,
right, because they're so focused on race.
Yeah, so but we need to understand that white supremacy, they're not checking off the dots before they put their knee on your neck. They don't care. Right. So until we get on the same page, we always gonna have the same problems. I mean, it's just I don't get it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's just that it's maybe not just here, but many like different chat rooms and stuff like that. Like where there's videos here and there, like a lot of them keep pushing that, we're not from Africa, not this, not, and they're like putting the vial and everything and all. I'm like, I understand that, not every situation is the same exactly everywhere and everything, but she's not the first person to say anything like that. So I was just wondering like how far it goes and stuff like that. But the way you said is the way I looked at it was, there was Black people here before, but I also believe that they imported someone. I believe that too, because, and I mean, my mentor told me anyway that Columbus admitted that there was Black people already on the island when he first came here anyway. So I mean, he did it later in his life, but apparently there was Black people here before he came along. So it's like nobody's.
Oh no, go ahead. I was
going to say nobody's saying anything different. It's just that I sense some type of like wanting to separate everything, like kind of like the sister was here just before, like on that level. And I was like, and some were saying, no, we don't come from Africa at all. And I was like, when you say at all, do you mean like, I'm like, I understand you didn't come like since like the 1500s or so, but I mean, before everything, at some point you were in Africa too, but they were saying no. And anyway, whatever, I guess I'll never know. I was gonna ask her, like the lady was talking before, but whatever.
Yeah, and
I mean, with due respect, I mean, the reason why Africa is in the state that it's in is because a lot of them is calling some Black Americans Akatas and other types of words. There's a lot of tribalism going on there. Even in Nigeria, how many tribes? They're separating themselves. They're the same people, but separating themselves by a different tribe. So I think that's why some people are saying, hey, look, if y'all don't even deal with these internal feuds, how are we going to get on code? I'm not saying that's the right or wrong approach to have, but that's looking at it, from a balanced perspective.
And I would like to, I was also going to add that, or expand on that. Yes, Marcus Garvey want his people to return back to Africa, because to them that's their homeland. Also, it's liberation, because he knows that once slavery, he understood that slavery ended, right? And then okay, it's fine, slavery ended. Then what's going to happen? Are we going to get substance? Are we going to get tangibles? Because he knew very clear that his people are not going to be treated equally once slavery ended. So he figured that returning back to the African continent, people feel truly liberated, and all of them followed his philosophy. I'm sure some did, and so I think that's why the conversation is stuck today, because the past, it still continues to carry on. And also say to that girl, I was gonna elaborate or probably like interject, is that that's true that some Black Americans have true, yes, true that some Black Americans don't know where they're originally from Africa, but I do believe that some are moving to the African continent. Even if it's not their home, but I think the point we need to make is that they want to move to the continent Africa because they want to feel true liberation. They don't want to do police brutality every day in Western nations, being pulled over by the police because they're Black, or being brutalized, being victimized. And also, it's easier to start a business in the African continent. And I say this because I watch multiple YouTube videos. I analyze, research, ask questions. So yeah, there's some information I do correct, but I'm still evolving. So I do understand, especially the young Black millennials are moving to the continent of Africa from England, Europe, because they feel that they haven't explored outside their comfort zone. And yes, I understand that there's some Black Americans who want to stay in America to fight for reparation because they claim to be their soil. But at the same time, that yes, Dimitri, you're right that white supremacists does not view like Black people as Americans because of conquer and divide. And you're right, they do continue this argument. I mean, they do continue this strategy, every year and every day. But I'll say this, that there's some Black Americans who do move to other countries if they're not if they don't prefer Africa, if they don't prefer the African continent, but some other like non-African continent, because they want to get away from America. America's just too much, too painful, especially like what's happening what's happening like in the present, because the past has built on for over like, of course, 500 years, counting and moving forward. And I want to speak to what the girl said about Native American, about Native Americans, claiming Native Americans receiving land, etc. Because their people actually march together and they're not very divided on getting land. And also the Native Americans have an Indian health services. That's why I think they're so. That's why I think they're so united together. And also the Native Americans actually own slaves too. So that's why I can understand why this Native American woman said, I don't want to be attached to black people's struggles, because our struggles are very diverse.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you're right. They did own slaves. I mean, in fact, a deal was made with them. With white people, get on our side, because they were afraid that black people and the Indians would team up. So they actually made Indians an ally, and that's how that happened. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna give everybody the 30 seconds for a last word, and I do mean 30 seconds because my cutoff hand is strong today. I'm just playing. We'll start with Be Easy. What do you want to say in closing?
Yeah, this show was litty. So shout out to Demetra K. Shout out to the recovering Democrat, Donovan, everybody that came on. Even the ones that come in with the smoke, it's good to have that disagreement, but no slander of the elders. Like you said, you can combine all of the panels that you've had, and y'all still ain't done what Farrakhan has done. So if you want to criticize them, put your resume to the test. Put your resume up against Marcus Garvey and Farrakhan, and even Demetra. I'll land with that one. Love y'all. I'm out.
I love you for that one, but I don't know about that. My what I've done doesn't even, like, it's a speck in the universe, a very small speck. All right, Miss Keisha, what's on your mind?
I just want to say, first of all, thank you again. You might think it's a speck, but it means so much to me, and I'm sure a lot of others who come on just to hear what you have to say and what the other panelists have to say. So thank you for giving us an outlet to hear about us. And so I just want to say, you guys, don't divide us. We're not a separate people. We are one people who have been separated, and start thinking of us like that. And every one of us in every community may have something bad to say about us, but when it comes right down to it, we are nothing without each other. So just let's get on the same page. Thank you, Demetria.
No, and thank you, and I thank you for that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We got to get it together. Mr. Pan, what's your last words here?
My last word is this. You know, I know people in the comments said that I know a lot, but I want to be honest. Yes, that's true. I have knowledge, but at the same time, I'm evolving on this issue over time, asking questions, feedback, analyzing, having great conversations with you, Demetra, and other panelists. And I'll say this very quickly to make it fast. It doesn't matter where black people live, globally or America. They're fighting the same battle, but they're fighting on different ends. So it's always good. Always good to unite together. No matter if you're living in Japan, Europe, Canada, African continent. The key word is unity, whether it's like globally. And plus, we live in the internet, the information age. So if the Africans are able to fight for reparations from England, and African Americans are able to fight for reparations from America, and they unite together, they're probably more likely to get reparations sooner than later than what they realize. So I think the key word is just focus on cash payment reparations. Like, I understand there's a division in your community regarding like who's to perform this or who's to not. Just focus on the money, because money is key to building wealth, health, power, and like what your friend Walter said, is key to being self-sufficient and having ownership and autonomy, and say goodbye to Babylon.
Absolutely. And you know why I was doing this? In my head, I heard do 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 do. That's the Jeopardy music. But you know what, though? Thank you so much, Michael, for coming on here with all your insight and wisdom and being an ally to us, because you know your people, and it's going to take people like you to, just keep spreading the word and educating others about the plight of Black people. So we thank you and appreciate you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry I lost connection. My computer died on me, so I had to recharge. I apologize.
No worries. Come back. I was going to say come back next week, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you so much, Demetra Donor. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Be
Have
safe.
a great evening. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you.
Arson.
Demetra, I don't really have a specific word in. I should have played as usual, but I gotta tell you, I love you too. I love your show. Thank you for everything. I really don't even need to watch the news. I watch the two of you, because you two let people talk. You two read every comments. You two, I get the most objective information through the two of you. So yeah, I love you guys. So keep up everything. Like Demetra and Donovan, you two are top for me. That's all I gotta say, really.
And you want to know what, Arson, I want to say too, I love you too. Arson is actually one of our longest supporters. He's been with us when we were in Donovan's studio in his garage and all of that. So I just, I love you, brother, for really hanging in there with us. You started with us when we had a few people watching. We had
right. That was a long time ago. It's true. Time went on since then. It's true. But see, that's my point. You guys stay consistent. Throughout all of that, you guys remain consistent. And I don't sense from you guys, there's a lot of panels I see out there. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I used to see a lot. And you could always tell that some of them were had an agenda or anything. You know what I mean? Many of them, you hear them talking, you're they're trying to push a scenario here. It's obvious, But I never got that from you guys. Never, ever, ever, ever. You're maybe you and actually no, just you. That's it. Just you guys. So now it's true. I was trying to think of somebody, but yeah, just you guys. So yeah, respect guys, and keep it up. But next week though, I will have a question about that was my other question I was gonna put in the comments. It was about the fight there, the Alabama fight there. But I don't remember. Anyway, I'll ask you next week, okay? Since you guys, it's always an open, it's always open.
You know what? Ask us on this Tuesday. We'll be here live on Tuesday, and of course with
Tuesday.
Yes.
At what time?
Same time, 5 o'clock. So 5 Central Time in America. So I don't know. Are you guys on Eastern time?
What time is it in New York? Let me
So
say 5.
so it'd be 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. in New York.
6 o'clock Tuesday. Yeah, I can make it. Okay, I can make it. Yeah, yeah. All right,
All right.
guys.
Thank you,
Okay, you two
Arson.
take care. Man. Love y'all.
Love
Bye.
you too.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. Apologize for the cat, but he's very, very spoiled. Now, this is one of my cats one of my cats that I saved, and he was hurt and injured and whatever. And I have an animal shelter that's down the street from my house, and I can't take any injured animals down there because we have a kill shelter. So if you're in a place, I know you want to do the right thing. You guys, sometimes before you take an animal that you might find or whatever, make sure that your shelter isn't a kill shelter. Number one. But he's very spoiled, very big. He's very strong, and I like it. But yeah, your block game tonight was very, very strong. But it also proves my point in regards to.
Oh, we better be here another 15 minutes, y'all.
No, we're not.
No.
We're pretty much done. But it also proves my point in regards to how everybody has an opinion and every opinion matters. Maybe to that person, you might not care for it, whatever else, but we try to give everybody, their talking points, unless it's absolutely asinine to where, we can't support that. If you're going to come on the show, this is Demetrius' show. I'm just going to say this because I don't even get away with it. And I help produce the show. You got to come with the facts. You got to come with the facts. If you're going to come with anything, come with the facts. If you don't have the facts, you're just talking at that point. So we appreciate everybody's opinion, but on the Demetrius K show, you got to come with the facts. And I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I think everybody's opinion is valid, well, to some degree. And I think, but at the very least, I think people are entitled to it. But it's like, I don't have a lot of tolerance for people who just be making up stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why I always tell y'all too, in my opinion, the internet is not real because there's all kind of misinformation on the internet, right? We see people who are in these loving relationships. Oh, just need a relationship like them. Then you find out they ain't together no more. And that's a long story. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that you'll learn that on the internet that's not actually true. And I just say, if you really calling yourself a free thinker, you need to really be that. Like if you hear something, you say, well, that sounds incredible, but let me go look for myself. Let me research, see if there's any truth to it. And then you go from there. Like I said, I've seen a whole lot of stuff on the internet, including white people changed vanilla ice cream because it used to be black because the vanilla bean is black and ice cream was black. And white supremacists changed it to white because they didn't want to be licking on nothing black. It's like, somebody just put that out there and everybody and their mama just shared it. It's like there's absolutely no truth to that. But anyway, I will say this. Yeah, it does look like Zachary Binks. Ebony, how you doing? You don't think I know about Zachary Binks, huh? Talking about your cat, Donovan. So I will say this. I do truly love and appreciate everybody. I don't like to kick people off the show per se. They're not blocked. I don't like to kick people off. But yeah, let's be respectful, and I get it. We only have a short time to really say what we want to say, but at some point in time, we gotta, cut the nonsense. And I love and appreciate all of you guys for your opinions. We don't always agree, and the Donovan, we don't always agree. Lately, we've been agreeing though. I know something must be in the water somewhere. Yeah, and I know I'm just rambling on right now because I'm kind of tired. But next Sunday, we are actually going to be. We're going to Japan. Yes, not Monday, Sunday. She told me the other day it's not actually Monday. It's Sunday that we're leaving to Japan. Right, we're about to miss our plane.
Wait, is that this Sunday?
Coming up. Yes. So
I got jury duty.
I think I got jury duty too, but I ain't gonna be there.
Okay, gotcha. There you go.
Unless they want to like Skype me in from Japan or whatever. So I'll be on our way to Japan. Of course, we'll try to go live or something while we're out there, show you guys what we're doing. We're gonna visit Donovan, my daughter, and I. But as I said, this is everybody's show. It's not my show per se. This is everybody's show. Everybody has an opinion. You can say what you want, but let's just not be foolish and all that other stuff. Donovan and I have done this for a very long time, believe it or not. I actually started doing this in my room. I had when Facebook, I was just on Facebook Live. where I had my phone and I had it propped up on a little thing or whatever, and I would go live on Facebook, and then it just went from there. And Donovan, for about a year, was like, "You got to go larger. I got a studio. Come over here." So from that point, I started going over to Donovan's house in the studio, and we still had my little phone, and we were close together and on the phone. And then we started going to YouTube and so on and so forth. And that's really how it started. And hopefully the show goes larger, and I'd like to take every last one of y'all with us. I'm not one of those people, as Brother Arson said, I don't have an agenda. I don't even ask you guys for money half the time. I got the thing down there, but I watch a lot of people showing it like, hit the cash app, hit the cash app, hit the cash. I'm not doing it for that. I like what I'm doing is for free. Let me tell you another thing. Before I started doing the show, when I lived in California, every Sunday, my daughter and I would be on Venice Beach because I love Venice Beach. So we drive out there, be in the drum circle, get a contact because they smoking weed. I don't do that. But, that's what I do with my Sunday. And I haven't been to Venice Beach since like 2015, 16 on a Sunday because I'm doing this. But I'm saying all that to say I do this because I love it. I love you guys. I love sharing knowledge. I love learning stuff, and I don't do this for money. And I know that a lot of people do this for money, which is why sometimes it becomes problematic, because a lot of times we'll feed you guys what you want to hear. And a problem that I have with a lot of us on YouTube or on these platforms is we keep you angry. When I say we, I'm talking collectively. We keep you angry. Oh, this, that. But we never really get to a solution, right? If y'all think I'm lying, y'all favorite YouTuber or whatever that y'all listen to next, look and see if they ever give you a solution, or are they just keeping you mad? A quote that I heard a long time ago says, along with getting mad, you need to take action. Otherwise, you just run around mad all day long, right? So is there a solution being given? I like to think that we try to go through some solutions here when we can, right? But I'm never going to sell you guys an agenda. And trust me, as I always tell people, and Donovan knows me, I got the gift, I just got the gift to communicate. I could very easily, man, y'all know how much, I would be paid. Oh my God, I have so much money. Check this out. Oh, you Black people need to stop blaming white people for everything. At some point in time, you guys just need to do what you're supposed to do. Slavery has been over a long time ago, and you guys weren't slaves.
Candace Owens.
Yeah, you know how much money I would have. How about this? The Black man ain't shit. Sisters, go on out there and get you a white man.
Cynthia G.
They gonna treat you right. These Black men that washed up. They making babies and they're leaving them and they beating up Black women and all. And please do not take a snippet of this and put this on the internet, because this is satire, okay? Or how about this? Because there's some sisters that do it. Oh, these Black women, they're just horrible people. They never treat the Black man right. These ratchets. Then brothers, I don't blame you guys for going over there and getting you a passport and getting you somebody else. Leave these sisters behind, and man, y'all know how much money I would be making if I was raccooning or being divisive. I got almost 16,000 subscribers. Y'all know how many subscribers I would have if I was on that page. I'm not gonna sell my soul. I'm not.
And you stood up in your booty shorts. I mean,
I ain't gonna do that either. Okay. And I purposely bought all big giant clothes, Donovan, when we go to Japan. That way you don't accidentally get my booty on one of your pictures or something like that. Okay. What I'm saying is, I'm not. Because listen, one thing I do know is that there's a price to pay. So y'all watching all these people divide Black people, and it's us. There's a price to pay for doing that, because Black people are supposed to be together. We are the original people of this earth, and you will pay for dividing Black people. And I don't care if I have to go work at Taco Bell and Amazon and drive Uber. I will never divide Black people for $1. I'm not going to do it. So I hope, yeah. And Donovan actually saw my shorts because I was moving around. Me and him are on him back. But anyway, Donovan has seen me before. No, he not gonna get a picture because I'm gonna have on some. I dress more conservatively now.
You got to
anyway.
remember, her dad is still alive and kicking, so I definitely don't want to deal with him in a situation like that.
Yes, my daddy will get you. Okay. But anyway, I do love everybody. So I wish you guys the best. We'll be back here on Tuesday. We'll have our podcast and then we'll also have our live show. Then we'll have Walter come on here. And let's talk about something, that I don't know, that's a little less divisive, if you will. So yeah, see y'all later. Peace.